Welcome back, folks. In this video, I want to talk about gold from a higher time frame analysis perspective. I think there is a big move down coming next week. Okay. Now that doesn't void my current forecast. I think we will still take out these highs. Okay. But I want to talk about what I see in the later part of next week. Okay. So I think next week that's coming up, you need to be very careful. There's going to be a lot of volatility in both directions. Now, before I do that, I want to answer a few questions that I got, again, in relation to this particular long trade that I took on Thursday. Some of you are asking, how can I have the confidence in putting on such a large size on that position as it was dumping down? Now, you're saying that because you know that I typically trade in lots of 5, and the trade that I did, the position I put on there as that was dumping down was an 8 lot, okay? That's some of the questions that I got. Let me just go back to that trade. So you are referring to this trade. This was an 8 lot, okay, down here as the market's dumping down. Firstly, I want to say that I don't show you my full position size, okay? Typically, I trade 3 5 lots and I scale in, okay? That's my typical trade size. On news announcements, I'll drop that to just a 3 lot, okay? So significantly reducing my risk because of the uncertainty. Even when I'm confident in the direction, I will still drop that because they can spike it in the opposite direction, at least 100 pips. So I need to be prepared for that, okay? And a 3 lot for me, for my account size, is acceptable with that elevated risk on that particular day when there's news announcements. But as I said, I'm only journaling the position size and the trade that I feel I can teach you something valuable, okay? It's not about showing you the money that's being made. That's irrelevant, right? Because that's based on my own risk tolerance and account size, my own discipline and my own mindset and my trading style. So the size here and the money is irrelevant, okay? I journal only to show you that what I'm teaching you works. So I've got to show you some level of trading. Otherwise, anybody can say the market's going here or there and not trade, okay? It's being able to put the position on, okay, and have that conviction and show the evidence, okay, to give others confidence that what I'm teaching actually works, okay? My trading for Friday, I haven't journaled. The only one I journaled was this second last row, okay? You can see there's a whole bunch of trades I did on Friday I haven't journaled, okay? So that's number one, okay, that I'm not journaling the entire position. So this is all from the live of the week, right? This is all me scaling in at different levels, different times on that day as the market's moving down. I'm getting in based on, you know, what I think price is going to do. So I've already mentioned a lot of reasons for why I got into this trade, and I'll give you something else now, which was probably the most significant in why I had the confidence. But let me quickly recap some of the reasoning. One, most important, what triggers me to get into this market is we are trading at the low of the week. This is Monday, okay, and this is Thursday. We're at the low of the week at this point in time. We've also traded below previous Friday's New York session, okay. That's another reason. We're coming into discount PDRAs. This is a fair value gap, okay. All this is a fair value gap, one big fair value gap, okay. We're coming into another discount PDRA, which is 4 hourly order block, and then we're also coming into, and I've shown you all of this, right? This is nothing new. I've gone through all of this. On this 4 hourly chart, we're also coming into a bullish breaker because we have a low swing here, a high swing here, and then a lower swing, and then a higher swing, making this last up candle in that upswing there the bullish breaker. Okay, so look at all these things that I'm identifying as the reasons for me to expect repricing higher. Like, why wouldn't I enter long at that level? You know, why wouldn't I do it with all these things that I'm seeing that I know have worked in the past? On a daily chart also, we have coming into these daily order blocks, okay? Something I was already looking for, okay? And most importantly, which I haven't mentioned, I'll mention it now, and this will be a great lesson for you on the weekly chart, okay? And this is on any time frame. When you go through, so I want you to look at this. Let me bring my drawing tool over here. There we go. This makes it easy for me to draw. Oh, where's it gone? Okay, here it is. Now, on any time frame, when you have this type of a bar, okay, this is a weekly high here, but any time frame, when the market closes above that high, okay, so we've closed above that, then that is going to be your first point of interest. That's basically where the market needs to come back down to rebalance, okay? So that level, this is the current week that we just had, that low there aligns with this high. So in that zone, I'm interested in looking for my setups, okay? So you can see the low there is whatever that is. I think it's, let me just close this so we can see the low. The low there comes in at, looking at the numbers up here on TradingView, okay? So the low there is 2470, okay? And the high here is 2477, okay? So anywhere from 2477, okay, I can start to look for my setups. Okay, and you can see that is the low of the week. Okay, so that was another thing that I had already had on my charts, right? This was from a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. In this week, when we've closed above that high, okay, then I know to rebalance if the market's coming down here. It doesn't have to come down here, but if it's coming down here, I know that level there should be a level where we should see some kind of support. Okay, so I'm not just trading off that. I'm then looking at my other ICT signatures that are telling me we are expecting to reprice higher, and that is all those other things that I have identified on those lower time frames. Okay, so I hope that clarifies why I was confident to put on that 8 lot. But as I've said, you don't see the entire position size anyway. I typically trade 3 5 lots. That's my typical size. Okay, except for news announcements where I'll drop it completely down to a single three lot. Okay, so let's talk about the market and higher time frame analysis. Okay, now I've already said in a previous video that I see the market going above these highs. Okay, however, I think that that's going to be the high that we're going to be drawn to next week. And after we take out that high, my opinion is that we will come down. Okay, and we could come down significantly, maybe over 1,000 pips. Okay, so a couple of things. One, that's just the price action that I see from the daily charts. Okay, and I've already given you some levels to watch for. Let me see, are they still on my screen? Yes, so I've already said to watch for this level. Okay, so that's above this high. So I do expect us to go above that high. It may go above this. That's my level, but irrespective of that, let me get rid of these lines, which is way too many. So note that level. I've mentioned it in a previous video. That's not a trade recommendation. I want you to monitor the charts, learn, okay, from what I'm saying and how to forecast future price movement based on what you see in the charts. We're learning about price action. So irrespective of that move higher, that's going to take out the low on the left, I do see us coming down. I think this move up is going to be the pump for the dump, okay? Now, the indication, what have I seen to expect that? I want to jump to a weekly chart, okay? On the weekly charts, we have closed in breakout. Breakout means that we've closed above the high of the previous week, only slightly, okay? And we now have a fair value gap as well. Now, as I've said in my last video, when we take external liquidity, we then expect the market to seek the same in the opposing end. And the first thing that it's going to be seeking for is inefficiency, which is down here, okay? So I won't be surprised if sometime next week, as we go back above that Friday's high, okay? Is it Friday's high? Let me quickly check that. It's Tuesday that made the high, okay? So that's Tuesday's high. As the market will now go above there, okay, if it does, it may not, obviously nothing's guaranteed, then I'm expecting to reprice lower into this fair value gap. And the low there is 2470, okay? So from the high down to the low, that's over 600 pips, okay? And we could actually get all the way down here to completely rebalance that market, and this would also come into a weekly order block, okay? That's over 800 pips, okay? So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I've seen, okay? Even if I look at a monthly chart, although we haven't closed this month yet, next week is the last week of the month, okay? And, we could spike up there and start to head down. So again, this is a close in breakout if we close above this high, which I think we will. There's only a couple of days left in the month. This is therefore then where the market needs to come down to, at least come to balance, okay? And the high of that month is 2483, okay? So 2483, if we go back down to our daily chart, 2483 is somewhere around these lows here, okay? What's there? Let's have a look. Where's 2483? Let me grab a 24. There we go. So somewhere down there, which is basically somewhere high of the week down to 2483. You can see that there is about 600 pips. Okay, so there's no guarantees in the market. Okay, we can only work with information that we have and form an analysis. Okay, and that's all I'm doing here. So the market could go up another 1,000 pips. We don't know, but you have to work with what you have. Okay, nobody knows about the future, but that's what I see based on what I've just shown you in this video. So we have to align our movement with the news. Okay, at what time, what day is the market going to inject volatility? And we refer to the news calendar for that. Okay, so if we look at next week, no news on Monday. Okay, I only look for USD news. Okay, we have some news on Tuesday. Okay, and then Thursday and Friday. Okay, so I don't expect us to see big movement on this Tuesday news. We could. I'm not really expecting that. I think it'll be later in the week, Thursday or Friday. Okay, so I think that we will move up Monday, Tuesday. Okay, or we might have Monday move up. Tuesday might give us an inside day. Monday move up, take out the high of the week. So there's going to be manipulation on both directions. Okay, but I do think somewhere next week, Wednesday onwards, maybe Thursday and Friday, maybe just on Friday, after getting everybody trapped up high, I expect the market to come back down. Okay, to the levels I've mentioned in this video. Okay, so I do expect these highs to be taken, and I think that'll be the manipulation. Take everybody out, then move down, as I've explained in this video. Okay, again, not a trade recommendation. I want you to monitor the markets. I'm trying to show you that once you understand price action, price behavior, you can then forecast future price movement based on the current price action and historical price action. That's what you're learning here on this channel. Okay, monitor the charts over the next couple of days, in particular how the market manipulates, right? How you get these manipulation moves that prior to the rule move. So if I'm expecting us to take out these highs, I want to see a dump for the pump. When's that dump going to occur? Monday we might go up, okay, and to stop out anyone that's short already. Tuesday start to come back down. Okay, everybody's now short. Wednesday go back up, to stop out existing, folks who were short on the Tuesday if we go down. Well, Tuesday might just be an inside day. We need an inside day, I think, in the coming next few days, because after inside days are your big moves. So I would like to see an inside day somewhere in next week's trading, okay, for a big move to the downside after taking out these highs, okay? So it's going to be tricky. You're going to have to be very careful. and you're gonna have to look at the news calendar, align that with the key times, okay, and look for those pump for the dumps or dumps for the pumps, okay? Hope that video is useful. I think this next week's going to be a very important lesson if you really monitor the market, because you're going to learn a lot in terms of when the market manipulates, when it makes those bull moves, and when that final move it sets up, what day, what time, and how they use news to inject that volatility and move the market really where they intend to move it. Now, let me actually give you something else, not something I normally do. Let's jump to a daily chart, okay? So again, this is not a trade recommendation, okay? This is for your learning. So I really want you to learn what I want to show you. So you might be thinking, well, if we're going to go above this level, and I'm forecasting a move up, whoops, let me grab an arrow. I'm forecasting a move up to 2545, I think I said, somewhere up there, for a dump, right? Where could that dump come into? What's a reasonable expectation? Well, I want you to think about, where did I go long this week? It was there, okay? That's the low of the week. That's where I went long from, because we came into these daily order blocks, okay? So where's all the money? Something I spoke about in a few videos ago about directional buys. Where is the money? Okay. So the money now is at the bottom of the weekly low. Okay. Now, something I've also taught you is rejection blocks. What do you see there on the daily chart? Okay. What have I said about wicks? They are just like gaps. Okay. So when you see a wick like that, we haven't traded down into there. That is a daily rejection block. I expect, not always going to get it, but I expect at least to move down to the midpoint of that. Okay, which is 2477. So that objective on the way down, after taking out these highs, is in alignment with the rest of my analysis. Okay, that movement, in my view, in my opinion, we should take out the low of the week. We don't have to, okay, and maybe get more orders from this daily order block, okay? But all I'm looking for is to move back down to what? What's the most compelling story? Is to rebalance the weekly chart, okay? So if I'm already looking for a move to the low of this week, okay, which is at 2470, is my target reasonable? Because it's above that level. As I said, I'm not looking for the absolute best exit, okay? I'm looking for the easy exit, and for me, that's the easy exit for any positions I take short at these highs. If I get the setup that I'm looking for on the right day and in the right session, then a move down from that to there is more than what I need to be profitable, but is reasonable. Okay, that target is reasonable. That's what I'm teaching you, because of the higher time frame assessment that's been performed. They were expecting a movement inside of this fair value gap, and therefore, if any target objective is higher than that, then that makes that reasonable and potentially what I would class as an easy target. Okay, and we could get as low as I said, the high of this candle, which is the weekly order block at 2458. Okay, and that will certainly get a lot of people trapped up high. Okay, as they've longed any breakout. Okay, and that would also entice a lot of short sellers to trap them down low for any movement higher. Okay, that's kind of how the market makers make their moves, and they are thinking weeks and months in advance. Okay, I think gold needs a bigger pullback. Okay, if I'm looking at the monthly chart, I can see there's a lot of wicks. Okay, a lot of choppiness, and this is indicative of a turnaround soon. That's a monthly chart, so that could be a whole 12 months in advance. Like, we may not see any turnaround for another 12 months. Okay, notice that on this monthly chart itself, we're quite bullish. Okay, I've spoken to you and taught you this in the past. This candle is an immediate rebalance, which indicates strength. Immediately rebalancing this move. So as this month has moved, it's open here. Okay, it's immediately come down and rebalanced, and then completely going higher. Okay, that candle indicates the next two candles should be bullish. Okay, so on a monthly chart, this is showing we could be going like that. Okay. Nothing's guaranteed in the market. In fact, if this doesn't do that and you see a down candle, right, or you see choppiness to the downside next month, then that actually indicates a failure, and that could indicate movement lower into this fair value gap. That'll be the next draw liquidity on a monthly chart. But that's thinking too far ahead. I don't want to confuse you. Okay, right now, the lesson is just about the fact that we have a fair value gap on the weekly chart. We've taken liquidity, and now it would seek inefficiency and liquidity in the opposing end, and therefore a movement under that low is reasonable to expect, although not guaranteed. Okay, so a lot in this video to consume. Go back, rewind, look at this on your own charts, study the charts over the next couple of days. Okay, and I will talk with you in a future video.